Hey boys, it's Harm9. Today I'm going to be going over 10 ways to make money in Grand Theft Auto Online that are underrated. Now, these can be underrated for higher level players, but these are also really good ways to make money generally for lower level players, I would say. And as we get up the list, it's going to be a little bit more friendly to lower level players who maybe don't have a ton of businesses in GTA Online. If you enjoy the video, a like is of course appreciated. If not, dislike, subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. Going for 300k this year. Let's see if we can make it happen. Let's go ahead and get started with number 10. At number 10, we have auto shop customer deliveries and exotic exports. Now, the auto shop is a really good business to begin with, but when people think about the auto shop, generally they just think about doing the auto shop mini heists that are included with the business, but there are also two other ways to make money with business that are really quick and easy. First up, of course, we have auto shop customer deliveries. These can make you between $20,000 and $30,000 for only about 5 minutes of work. Plus, you can also get your staff to deliver the cars instead of you having to drive them to the drop-off. And the staff have actually been updated since they came out, and they're actually pretty reliable now at getting the car where it needs to go without ruining your profit margins. So that's really good. Now, the auto shop also gives access to exotic exports, which are marked by the blue dots that pop up randomly on your minimap. In case you've seen them around, that's probably what that is. Now, you can steal these cars and deliver them for $20,000 each, and 10 are available each week, so about 200 grand a week just off of those cars. Now, between these two activities, you can make a decent amount of money with the auto shop, and that is all outside of the auto shop heists themselves, which are also a pretty good way of making money. I don't really see people taking advantage of either of these ways to make money, so I think people should start doing that, particularly if you don't have a lot of money and you might have an auto shop. I would definitely recommend doing this. At number 9, we have the bunker ammunition delivery and CEO export mixed goods. Either of these will pay you $50,000 for completing them, and they are available every 48 minutes of real time. The missions themselves shouldn't take more than 5 minutes to complete either, and the more you do, the better you'll get at completing them. So this is a great way of making money. However, I do find myself even struggling to remember to do these when they are available, and I think a lot of other people skip over these missions as well, and that definitely needs to change because this is a really awesome way to make some super quick cash that you can then reinvest in other places, like in CEO cargo warehouses, for example, with the passive sourcing with your warehouse staff. So definitely a really good thing to do. I mean, 100 grand every 48 minutes for completing 2 5-minute missions, not so bad. Definitely look into doing these if you haven't done them before. And if you do them occasionally, try to do them every single day because this can make you a ton of money over time. Next up at number 8, we have free mode missions, free mode events, headhunter, sightseer, piracy prevention, air checkpoints, criminal damage, and business battles, as well as various other free mode events that are available in GTA Online. That you can start from the CEO menu or that will just pop up randomly as long as you're in a session with 4 or more players. Now, a lot of these are really good ways to make money. For example, Headhunter, like you can see in the background gameplay here, you go into a CEO, you start the mission, you get in a jet or armed vehicle of sorts, 4 targets spawn on the map, you go and take them out, and for completing this you will get about $20,000, but the longer it takes, the more money you will get, but I would generally recommend doing it as quick as possible. I think that is just the best policy. Sightseer is also a really good way of making money, and that will pay you about $25,000 upon completion. You simply have to go pick up 2 briefcases and drop them off. Pretty easy. Piracy prevention does require you to have a yacht, and you basically just have to guard it for 10 minutes, and for that you'll get 30 grand. So pretty good ways of making money. And then we have the free mode events like air checkpoints and criminal damage. These can pay you a ton of money actually, depending on how many people are in your lobby and competing, as well as with air checkpoints, how many checkpoints you complete directly correlates to how much money you will make. But this is definitely a good way to make money, especially if you are a lower level player. And these will actually pay a lot more than some of the other ways of earning money in GTA Online, and they're relatively easy to do as well. Number 7, we have contact missions. Now, contact missions have been buffed and nerfed over and over again throughout the history of Grand Theft Auto Online. However, now, in order to keep up with some of the other better ways of earning money, they've been buffed one final time as of a couple of years ago, and now pay about double what they used to, making this an actual viable way to earn money in GTA Online again. They're also super easy and fast to complete, so I definitely recommend looking into them if you want a change of pace. They're not gonna, make you a millionaire by any means, at least not overnight. but they can earn you some good money, and they are relatively easy to complete, and they're kind of fun as well because they're just so different compared to the stuff that we do in free mode, at least in GTA Online regularly. And number 6, we have the agency security contracts and safe income. The agency is a great business in so many ways, but unfortunately people seem to really prioritize the contract and payphone hits over security contracts. Now, I've been preaching about security contracts for a long time, and they pay very decently, typically between $30,000 to $80,000, but they also increase your daily safe income for every 5 that you complete, allowing you to double dip in a way and make more money every day from your safe, while also getting paid for completing these security contracts themselves. Now, if you do complete 201 security contracts, you will be getting 20 grand deposited into your safe every day, and you don't have to do anything after that. Now, it might not sound like a lot, but trust me, over the time that I've had my security contracts maxed, I've probably made like $10 million on top of the roughly $25 million that I made from getting to 201 contracts completed. And it doesn't take nearly as long as you think, and this is definitely a worthy investment of your time, because once you get that 201 contracts, 101 contracts even, you're going to be getting $10,000 every day, or 201, you're going to be getting 20 grand every day. This really does add up over time, and you're going to get it forever. It's never going to go away. You don't ever have to touch another security contract again, although they do pay pretty well on top of this. So I would definitely recommend doing contracts and getting your agency safe income up. I think it's a really good thing to do. And if you ever want to do some AFK methods, having your agency safe income maxed really helps, let me tell you. Number 5, we have tow truck missions in the chop shop. Now, I remember when this thing first came out, people were like, this business completely sucks and and hating on it and everything. And I do agree, it is too expensive for what you're getting in return. However, the tow truck missions from the chop shop are overlooked by a lot of people, I think. Now, these will pay you between $30,000 to $40,000 for each car that you bring in, and you can bring in 2 every 48 minutes. Now, the more of these that you do, the more your daily safe income will go up as well. That's also located in the chop shop, and it will max out at about 25 grand every in-game day, so long as you keep doing tow truck missions consistently. This part of the chop shop is super underrated, and it is very much overshadowed by the vehicle heists, and I definitely think more people should look at this end of the business, because I think this is where the real money is at. And number 4, we have dispatch work, 25k in 5 minutes. Now, you do need to own a police car in order to access this, and police cars are extremely expensive, so that is the one thing that makes this not a great way to make money. But if you have a police car anyways, now you can at least use it to try to make a return on how much money you spent on said police car. Now, this is available for every police car, I believe, except the Granger, as well as the Police Riot Pegasus vehicle. I think it has to be a personal vehicle if I'm not mistaken. Now, these can take less than 5 minutes of work, which is not bad at all, and they'll pay you 25 grand regardless. So it's definitely a nice change of pace. It's definitely something a little bit different, and 25 grand in 5 minutes, not too bad. There's a lot of ways to make about that amount of money in the same amount of time, but you can definitely switch things up. Like, for example, when you have Headhunter on a cooldown, you can do a dispatch work, and then when you're done the dispatch work, you can go back and do another Headhunter, just as an example. And number 3, racing with a full lobby. Now, they buffed payouts for older missions, races, survivals, and more, and racing in a full lobby, or at least a half full lobby, has become pretty profitable. Obviously, being more profitable, the better you do in the race and the more people that you're playing with. But races with a good number of players will pay significantly better than they did previously. For example, Twingo and I did some open wheel races with the very recent payout buff that doubled the payout, and I got $22,000 for first place with just the 2 of us racing, and this only took 10 minutes. So imagine if we had way more people with us, that number would have been significantly higher. And no matter where you placed, as long as you're maybe within the top 5, maybe top 6, you probably would have got that amount of money, or maybe even more. Definitely check into racing, and when racing is on double money and double RP, stuff like that, it's definitely worth doing. For example, stunt racing's on double money and double RP when this video comes out. I would highly recommend checking it out, because you're going to make a ton more money. And it's actually on 4 times RP, not 2 times. So if you want to level up, it's also a good way to do that. Now, tying into the last point, at number 2, we have double money and double RP modes. Sometimes we get triple RP, sometimes we even get 4 times RP and money in very rare occasions. but just checking in every single week and seeing what Rockstar has put on double, triple, or quadruple money is definitely worth doing. Sometimes they even do it for taxi work, and taxi work on, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, it can be pretty good, genuinely. So definitely every week, just check out what is on bonus money for the remainder of that week. And if it interests you, or even if it doesn't, I would still recommend trying it out and just seeing how it goes. This also will buff the amount of players that are in those lobbies, like I just said with stunt racing. Probably if you look for a stunt race right now, I guarantee you could probably find one just because it's on double money and 4 times RP. For an honorable mention, we have terabyte jobs. I used to see people doing terabyte jobs all the time while in free mode. However, nowadays I don't ever really see people doing it. I think that the terabyte jobs are actually some of the best paying free mode jobs generally. For completing the diamond robbery mission, I was awarded nearly $33,000 for finishing the mission, and it didn't take very long and it wasn't very hard at all. I would definitely recommend trying these out if you have a terabyte to begin with. I wouldn't go out of my way to buy a terabyte to gain access to these. I don't really think you're going to get a return on your investment there necessarily. But if you already have a terabyte, it doesn't hurt to try these out, that's for sure. Now, number 1, we have taxi work. Taxi work was recently buffed with the release of the Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC in GTA Online to pay 2.5 times more, or 250% more than it paid previously. Now, before this, taxi work was actually pretty awful. However, the increase, I genuinely think, is one of the best ways to make money in GTA Online now, for lower level players at least. The fact that you don't have to do anything to make upwards of $120,000 per hour is pretty awesome, so you can do this from literally level 1 and start making an absolute ton of money. And the more you do it, the more efficient you'll likely be at completing taxi work too. Overall, I think this is actually a really good way to make money now if you just want to drive around, or if you're a lower level. I would definitely say check out taxi work, and all you have to do is show up to the downtown cab company office and go ahead and get started. Anyway guys, there you have it. Those are my picks for 10 underrated ways to make money in Grand Theft Auto Online. Let me know what you thought of my list in the comment section down below. Comment any other underrated ways to make money in GTA Online as well. I'm interested in that. Maybe I'll make a part 2 to this video potentially at some point. Leave a like if you enjoyed, dislike if you didn't, of course. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Peace.